You're going to want to watch this before you decide to paint and epoxy your countertops. I'd never done this before, so I sanded the first countertop I did. I did not end up doing that with the rest of them. I started with a base coat of a white chalk paint. Okay, I did the first coat of chalk paint. I'm using this, I got it from Walmart. It's the Rust-Oleum brand. It does need another coat, obviously. While that was drying, I got to work on the other small countertop. I needed to first remove the backsplash. And then I got it painted. This is a few coats right here. All right, what do you think? Is it too dark? Does it look really bad? I have a hard time critiquing my own stuff. Does it look like marble or faux marble? Okay, I think I might have got my technique down. This is the other counter, and I'm liking it better. It's a little bit lighter, so I might add some more white to the other one and just a few veins on it. I mean, you can tell it's paint. You can tell it's not real. Or you might not be able to tell it's paint, but you can tell it's not real marble. But I don't know, this one might be a little bit dark. I added some skinnier veins on there. I think I'm gonna add some more white paint over the darker lines and play with it a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I do one of these. I'll just add another line somewhere. That way you can kind of see the process. So I'm just gonna add like a random streak right there. And then I'm going to take my brush, well, without paint first, and kind of smear it around a little bit. And then I'm gonna get a little bit of white paint on it. Just at the very ends of it where it's just a little bit. And go over it. Like that. And then you just keep on playing around with it until it's how you like it. I don't know, there's not really any magic to it. Sometimes you just have to start over a little bit. It's fine. It'll be fine. So I didn't erase them all the way, just enough to get rid of those big lines, and then I can go. I liked the pattern that I had. I'm also going to try this smaller brush, so we'll see. Okay, I think that one's a little bit better. Is it perfect? No. But is it better than before? Yes. We put these together. I've got to fill in the crack with something. And we'll be painting it and pouring epoxy over it, so it's not a big deal. And then we use plastic to get the two smaller countertops ready for epoxy. We put a layer of epoxy, and then you have to go over it with a heat gun or a blow dryer to get rid of the bubbles. At this point, I think it was looking really good. You also have to keep an eye out for floating fuzzes and pick those out as you see them. Okay, full disclosure. You see this? Bubbles were coming up, but it was already too late for them to go away. So the way you make the bubbles come up is heat to it, like a hair dryer or a heat gun, and it causes the air in the bubble to get warm and rise, so it comes out. Well, I was trying to get these out, and they weren't coming, so my husband tried to use a blowtorch. That didn't work. So obviously, I'm going to sand it down. It says 24 hours you can sand it. So I'm going to try to sand this down and get that out tonight, and then we'll do another coat on these, and then tomorrow they will be done. Okay, moment of truth. Got the yellow out. I got a little bit down to the countertop, but that's fine. I'll just put a little bit more white over those spots. And as far as the bubbles, I am digging out the sawdust that's in here. And then when we put more epoxy on, hopefully it'll just fill that in and it'll be okay. In here, I accidentally set her phone down on the counter, not realizing it was wet. So we had to fix that, but it turned out really good. And this is Mia's phone after she set it in the epoxy.
I didn't mean to.
And then our sink finally came in after it got lost in the mail. That's what we were waiting on to do the bigger counters. This was a test fit. Once we knew the sink was going to work, I got to work putting the white coat of paint on the countertops. So here's the crack that we put these two cabinets together. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. And then hopefully one day when we get the floors replaced, I can get rid of this part of the drywall and then just cut that off. I'm so worried if I bring it out that somebody's going to lean on this and then snap it off. So if you missed my last video, that was a bar top up there and we lowered it so that way we'd have all one level countertops. Once it was painted to my satisfaction, we taped everything off and put plastic everywhere so that we could get ready for some more epoxy. I'll be honest, I am not a fan of working with epoxy. I hate it. It's just messy and it's sticky and it's just kind of hard to work with. But we got that done and I swore I'd never work with it again, which I have since, but you know. And then I got to work cleaning everything up because my house was a wreck after all this. I mean, does this stress you out? Then once the epoxy was dry, we were able to get the sink permanently installed, and I still love this workstation sink 3 years later. So this is the one it came with, and it is gunmetal just like the sink, but it has that and it's not an attachment for a garbage disposal. And they want $64 for a new one of these at Home Depot, so that's not happening. Because we're on a pretty tight budget, we just put the silver one in from the last sink back in, and it doesn't bother us. And this is how it was looking after the countertops were done. It made the whole kitchen look so much brighter versus that brown countertop that was there before. And then a little bit more work on the sink. We had to drill some more holes for like the garbage disposal. All right, we are working on hooking everything back up. There's our osmosis system, which is amazing. If you don't have one, you should have one. And it's filtered water. Come out of there. We got our dishwater, dishwasher drain, and our garbage disposal right here. Yep. And then for a really scary part, drilling through our newly painted and epoxied countertops. The plan here was to add in a pop-up outlet, and we use it all the time. We love that thing. Moment of truth! Yay! It fits. Really cool. And just lay your phone on top, it'll charge it, or you can pop it up. USBs and plugins. All right, Mia, show me how it works. And it's charging. That thing really does come in handy, especially when you would have put a crock pot right there. And this is what my whole kitchen looked like after it was all done. And this is what it looks like today. You see all that red on there? I'm not even sure what that's from. I don't know if it's from heat from the dishwasher or what, because we haven't spilled anything red on it. It will stain if it gets like Kool-Aid or something red on it, it'll stain. But it's yellow and red, and I have no idea where that came from. And over here, we even set a crock pot down, and it yellowed where the crock pot was. And then the edges chip a little bit. And yeah, so this is not a forever solution. I never planned for it to be a forever solution, but I cannot wait to get these replaced. I did do epoxy over here on the island. This is a different brand. Don't use, like if you're gonna try it, do not use Pro Marine brand. They suck. But the Stone Coat countertop is supposed to be better. It's only been done for maybe a month, so we'll see how this lasts compared to the other kind. This was fun because I painted that on, as you saw. The color and everything was epoxy, so I didn't like brush anything on. It was a fun experiment. This one over here is actually way more white than that one is, because you could see when I showed the pop-up outlet, it was almost the same color. That's how like different it is now. How much it has yellowed. This one's not too bad. Anyways, it is on the agenda for 2025 to get all the countertops replaced. That would be this, which means I'll have to remove this whole thing that I put on there, replace this, and then put that back. Replace all this. I want to keep the same sink. We love the sink, and people worry about water spots and it getting scratched. It's not scratched at all. Obviously, you can see a little bit of water spots, but they wipe off really easy, and it doesn't look dirty when you clean it. So anyways, and then we'll get a matching countertop for the island, and more on the stone backsplash later.